friends with Shawn and John. In 2 seconds. I don't have any intro music. I wish I did, like da 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 da. Oh, like what do we do for One Sad City? Yeah.
I believe it was just like one sad city. I don't know if there was any but-up-but-uts or not, but we can make some but-up-but-uts.
All right. Hello all, and welcome. You are amongst friends. I'll be your friend today, and I'm joined by another friend, John.
Hello. Hi everybody.
And my name is Shawn.
How you doing today, Shawn?
I am great, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Hey,
I slept on my shoulder weirdly, and I have like a little.
Can I tell you about my shoulder?
It's like a little. It's like a ball of pain stuck under my shoulder blade, and it's distracting. All right.
Yeah, I feel that. I can relate to that. It seems like 2020 has been nothing but aches and pains for me.
I don't think you're alone on that at all. I think
if it's not my shoulder, it's my wrist. If it's not my wrist, it's my, kneecap that's falling apart. I don't know what's happening out there.
Self-care is now becoming self-evident, and I think we should seriously get better at doing it. I woke up this morning, and I actually did a little yoga session. That's how my back felt.
That's superb.
I'm good. I can move. It's just every time I don't move, I feel it. So,
you seem like you get like stagnant almost. I don't know, rigid is the right word for me. I think is rigid. If
you see me like squealing around dancing, it's because I'm uncomfortable, not because I took a whole bunch of speed. I did take some speed, but that's besides the point. So we're just gonna.
What kind of speed did you take? Was it coffee? Are you gonna be like, yeah, man, that's my speed is coffee.
That's my speed, bro. Yeah, man. It's cold brew, man.
Yeah. Oh my god, cold brew is like
48-hour cold brew, dude. It is so good.
48 hours, like
yeah. Well,
it's been brewing in that cold for a straight up 48 hours.
let's get back to the point.
I'm sorry. Yeah, get back to my shoulder still hurts, Shawn. I can't.
So welcome. You are here. We are amongst friends, and that's who we are. That's where we are. You come here for as if you were seeking help from a friend. Or if you're talking with a friend, or we're going to be a relaxed, easy conversation, and we're going to see if we can change the world one starfish at a time.
One starfish at a time. I like that.
All right. So John, how about you introduce yourself? Tell me a little about you. How do just go talk to me.
It's always uncomfortable when you have to try to express yourself to an anonymity, right? And I always struggle with that kind of action. So let me start by just saying I'm just a regular guy, and we're just doing a cool show amongst friends. I think that's all right. Hang on, we're taking a cut. Can you cut?
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
It doesn't matter, bro.
I'm gonna try it again. Oh, look at that! It's recording up there.
No, I'll cut this all out. Don't worry about it.
I know. All right, we're gonna do that was a good cut, and then I got nervous about what we were doing, and then let me open a window. I'm getting all sweaty. Hang on a second.
I think we uploaded here.
No, we didn't. Stop.
No, not that. All right. Well,
I hate trying to introduce myself.
Well, here. I'll take the role for you.
Go for it. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the crowd, Shawn, and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Well, I consider myself not your everyday guy, but definitely an average guy. And I mean that in the nicest way, that 2020 has helped me discover that I am not unique in any way. I am just like the rest of us, just trying to get by and just trying to live life to the fullest, to the best of my abilities. That being said, I have done nothing of the sort. And I that's why I'm here. I want to talk to a friend. I want to go over some issues, and I want to see if I can improve where I'm at right now.
I
So
like that. You
so
know,
yeah, John.
I
Hmm?
I'm gonna try to explain myself in a way like, I feel like everybody wants to be unique. And you just talked about that a little bit. And I feel like
Well, yeah.
that's not really the goal in terms of what we want to do. What we're going for is an individuality. You know what I mean? Like we want to have characteristics that make us unique, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Oh,
But
definitely.
the feelings that we get, the same angers, the same fears, the same resentments, the same hopes and dreams, everybody has them. We might call them different things. You might call your fear, money. I might call my fear um, um, uh, road rage or whatever. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
And this is why we're here amongst friends, because
it's a safe
what we're
spot.
doing here, huh?
It's a safe place.
It's a safe place. It's a safe place to say, you know what, man, I feel fucked up, and I should probably tell somebody about that. You know
Exactly.
why?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is camaraderie in numbers. There's camaraderie in like a sinking ship. We always try to want to change. That's our goal
Yeah.
here, and through this process called life. And boy, is 2020 throwing us some life curveballs, aren't it? Oh my God,
Dude,
it never
dude.
stops.
Oh,
Have you
we're
been
gonna.
watching some of the news? Like, are we going to talk about some of the shit going on? Because like,
I
I
honestly try not to, but yes, we're gonna get into current events here and
okay,
there.
I'm excited to get into like, and the reason that I'm excited to get into it with you in terms of this, Shawn, is because we've known each other for a really long time.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
we've been friends since high school, and that was about 15 years ago. No, even later in life, earlier than that, I believe in like middle school. I think seventh grade, dude.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
on,
that
yeah.
was the first
I
year.
forget that teacher's name. It was a guy.
There was a guy teacher.
Yeah, we had a guy, history teacher. Let's not get into those details.
Oh, Brennan. Was it
It
Brennan?
wasn't Brennan.
Oh, Martin.
Martin. That was it.
Mr. Martin, the social
Martin.
studies teacher.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
uh,
Uh, boy, fun times at that school.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so we met seventh grade.
Mm-hmm. So that's
Uh,
seventh grade.
yeah, to put it bluntly, we are in our 30s. We're on the higher end of the millennial spectrum. I believe we're called the Oregon Trail generation.
Is that
And
what we're called? They
yes,
named us after the
they
Oregon Trail?
they named us after the Oregon Trail.
Stop. That's ridiculous.
I think it makes perfect sense because we grew up without technology or without social media and without the internet. As
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the internet existed, but it wasn't good. And we kind of transitioned into the internet world, but we still are lost. We don't know how to use it. We don't know what to do with it, and we're all running around with our fucking dicks in the sand, bumping into logs. So that is the Oregon Trail in a nutshell. Uh,
I can see that point of view of
yeah,
like,
the lost generation.
I
You
feel
know.
like the Lost Boys in that sense. You know what I mean? Caught in
Mhm.
between two different like worlds.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. Like, we hit that cusp age of like not reliant on technology as a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We grew up in the
Like,
woods, you know.
yeah, we grew up in the woods. Shit, man. Like, you give me a stick and like 6 hours, I'm gonna have a field day.
Dude,
Trust me.
yeah, we used to go on like adventures walking the
Hell
woods
yeah.
and like yeah, I mean not that people don't do that today, but it was different. It was more like a spiritual walking, if you will.
Yeah.
And
I think.
and
Go
and
ahead.
I think that's a big deal because when we were younger, we didn't have so many distractions and we were able to be children. And you know, yeah, I don't think I turned out as the best, but uh, I think I definitely wouldn't trade it in for anything else. And I'm proud of the time I grew up in, because you know how most people are like, I wish I grew up in the 60s, or
Mm,
I wish I grew up in the mid ages or whatever.
yep.
And as much as I would love to see Nirvana live on stage or Nine Inch Nails play for the first time, I'm happy in the first time in my life. I'm happy with the time I did grow up, and you know, not trying to look back and at the past with disdain or hate, I guess,
Hmm.
as a lot of people I notice in our generation. I
When
mean,
you say disdain and hate, like what are you realizing or seeing in terms of that? Because
uh,
like I've seen some like the thing that I see the most that really frustrates me in terms of like social media is separation or like division,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
see that a lot in our ways of thinking a lot, and so much anger. Like
yeah.
I don't understand that part.
Like,
Like I don't understand like why you gotta like curse out like the guys who are on separated sides of opinion or thinking. I don't want to make it political right now. That's not what I'm trying to do.
well, no,
But
you're right. When we grew up, all those microaggressions, they existed. They were there.
hmm
There just wasn't a platform for everyone to see it at the same time. So, you know, give us give us give us fire and we burn shit. Give us Twitter and we
we have a voice.
cancel shit.
And what's really weird to me in terms of this is like I am so afraid to post things on Facebook
Dude, I'm this
or on Twitter
I'm on
or
Reddit. I'm on
Reddit.
Reddit, and I'm
I
like,
know. I
oh,
still
delete,
hate, but
delete,
like,
delete.
oh man, like I was like, I can't believe I just wrote that. I gotta delete it right now. Like that's exactly what I freak out as soon as I hit the send button. I don't
And
understand.
nobody knows who I am. I'm nobody.
Yeah, I'm fucking, nobody. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody
I
wants.
think my name's like Master Namer or something like that. That's
Yeah.
the master. And I thought that was cool. I thought it was but I realized like, now like 7-year-olds can like make fun of me now. It's like, that's where my head goes. Like, I don't want
Yeah,
to get made fun of.
exactly. And it's for some reason I'm, and every generation goes through this, but
Mhm.
I'm beginning to start being afraid of the younger generation because of how much smarter they are than I am. And because when we were younger, we were the smart ones. We knew
Mhm.
everything. And I still think I know more than my parents, which is fucking weird. Or like the old lady down the street. It,
I
it,
think you know more than the old lady down the street
it's
though.
it's like we it's like we've turned our generation. Like we used to respect the elders, and now
Yeah.
we hate. Now
We
we're like
hate
we live
them.
in we hate the
Yeah.
elders,
Wh-
and we live in fear of the youngers.
Right. Like it's like their fault they're dying. Like I don't understand. Like why would we go there? Like it's not it's like do you feel like they want to take care of like, the shit that's going on? Their bodies are literally failing them,
Yeah, and I don't
in front of them, and you make them feel bad for like, pooping their pants. Like, come on. I don't get it. I don't understand why we have to be like that
it
in a
wasn't
culture.
it wasn't
It's not,
always like that. There was a time when uh, we did take care of the elders. Here, give me 1 second. I keep getting audio interference, and I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna try to test this by turning off the mic. And did the sound go away?
Turn it off and talk.
All right, I'm gonna turn it off in
It
three,
could be me.
2, 1.
Talk.
Okay, I'm back. I'm talking.
All right.
All right. Okay.
It sounds good.
All right. I mean, there's like it's definitely it could be outside of my
No,
environment.
it sounds like a connection issue. Like
Oh, I see.
I keep getting bleeps. All right, but anyway. Uh,
Forgot what we were talking about. Sorry, I'm
No.
sorry. It's supposed to be good radio, and I can't do. I'm trying, Shawn.
I think we might get better at this as we go on. So
I think so too, dude. Like,
yeah,
a lot for me is just like nerves. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like stage fright a little bit. You got to get used to it. It's like jumping into a cold pool and then like, now I'm used to it. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
And yeah, it's like going in for like today. I went out for a job interview, and
Hmm.
this
How'd that go,
morning,
dude?
well, it went good. I'll give you the whole story. So I woke up, back pain, so I did my yoga, and
Yep.
I was talking to myself in my head like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do this.
You weren't gonna go to the interview?
Yeah, I'm gonna reschedule. You know, like I get those thoughts in my head.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
dude.
you don't need to do this. Fuck this. You know.
Yeah.
The interview was for Home Depot, and
Hmm.
for a little quick background, I I come from the hospitality industry. Worked in restaurants, New Jersey, all the way down to Florida, and I've been doing that for the past like 15 years of my life. So uh, I went from like cooking to serving to bartending, and that's my whole basic career has been in restaurants with a couple small jobs and like warehouses here and there. So I'm talking to myself this morning, and I'm like, it's it's Home Depot. I don't the original job I went for was like a 12 per hour job, which if anyone listening knows $12 an hour is like the minimum
Minimum wage.
distance of yeah, it's like I can't buy new things. I
Yeah.
can't enjoy things. I'm always stressing. And
Now, can I ask you, what were you going for, the part-time position, or was it a full-time position
it
to
was
get
well,
benefits?
it was originally part time.
Yeah.
I talked myself into going to the interview,
Hmm.
which pat
Good
myself.
for you, by the way. Pat on the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It started snowing here, and
No way.
I was gonna ride my bike, and like as soon as like I put my jacket on, it was like
Yeah.
snowing and like raining, and I'm like, that
Was it like
fucking
slush?
that
Was it the
fucking
slush rain?
figures.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I ended up Ubering. It was like,
Yeah.
it's right down the street, so it was like a $5 Uber, which was fucking awesome.
Hmm.
Um, and I went in, had a great time with the interview. In the beginning, I was like afraid of like, that's why I was trying to convince myself not to do it, because I was afraid like I don't know what to say. I don't know how to talk to people right now. And as soon as I got into the room, it clicked. Oh, I know how to do this. Oh, I know how to talk. And
Yeah.
I was relaxed. I was calm. The guy interviewing me actually, I could feel the energy coming off. That he was nervous. He didn't know what to do.
Hmm.
So you can't see anyone smile, but I tried to get him to smile, and we ended up shooting the shit for a little bit. I learned where he's from, what he's been doing, and told him kind of my story about jumping around the country. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, I'm going to offer you a position in the lumber department. It
Whoa.
pays 14 an hour, and it's going to be
Nice.
full time. Do you want that? And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So he offered me the position, and I accepted, and just waiting for a background check, which
Hmm.
we'll get into that in a later
Yeah.
episode. My
Yeah. Of
background check
course.
experiences, and a drug test, which
Hmm.
it's 2020. I smoke weed,
Yeah. Hey,
so
hate to break it to you, nation. We're stoners.
so
I'm sorry, but it's just how it is, guys.
shit. I mean, I thought I'd take a hit right now. No,
No.
so
Did you just pull that out? That was
got,
that was quick.
I got my toolbox right here. Right?
I see that.
No, so yeah, the background check, I feel pretty confident in.
Mhm.
The piss test or the swab, I don't feel so confident in. So I'm gonna try and I'm gonna go two ways. I'm gonna be honest, like
Yeah.
and be like,
I
yo, what the fuck, dude? It's weed, and I smoked it. I'm not smoking it in front of you at work, So it's like drinking a beer. I can drink a beer after work. I don't come in smelling like alcohol.
I
That
just tell
makes
you,
sense.
yeah, exactly. How many times being honest has saved my bacon.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Why,
know,
like,
my father said it all the time to me, John, the truth will set you free.
yeah.
You
And
know,
like,
and it's
like,
true every single time. Like, it doesn't matter if it's been in a work environment or at a personal scenario. And like for me personally, like I'm a master manipulator. Like
yeah.
that's what
Oh,
like. That's
me,
what I fucking do.
me too.
Yeah. And like I want you to believe the lie before you believe the truth.
Mm.
I really do. Like that's
Oh
how I
man.
operate in terms of those things, and it's really shitty. But that's part of what learning how to change is about. Is like
Yes.
learning how to incorporate. Okay, this thing may look like a character defect a little bit. How can I do something about it? Well, honesty was a good start.
Hmm.
You know, being honest about like who you are, or honest with yourself, honest with others, honest with the world that you live in. Like those aren't hard things to do once or twice. What's really hard to do is as an action.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
To
part of
put it.
like your day to day of
Yeah.
like, yes, I will be honest
You're
during my day to day. Hard
because
to do.
that's like learning a new skill, honestly, because
Hmm.
we're all human and
Yeah.
we all lie all day. And it's
I agree with that. Yeah, and I
yeah,
bet
no,
your interviewer was
you
like,
lie to
yeah,
yourself, yeah.
oh yeah.
So like,
Talk about lying to myself. Please tell me.
yeah, so to open that door of like starting to just be honest, like with what Liar Liar, that the Jim Carrey movie, yeah.
I love that movie, dude. I watch
Open,
that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. Add that into Yes Man, and you have a
Hmm.
good philosophy going there.
Yeah.
Take chances and be fucking honest about it. And my one stipulation with being honest about the drug test with Home Depot is uh, they outsource the drug test to a third party company, or like
Hmm.
a liaison, I guess, and they don't give a fuck. So I don't think I can walk into that office and be like, hey, I smoke weed, because they're not Home Depot. They just work with Home Depot. And you know corporate America does not care about reality or anything. They care about bottom line, which is money. And if you're gonna be a liability and hurt their money, fuck you.
Well, I
So
mean that's congratulations, you've explained capitalism.
hey man, we live in a capitalistic society. We are
Yeah,
all slaves to the mighty dollar. Praise
it's
be, praise be Bank of America. Like,
yeah. I don't. I mean, for me, it's more like Republic Bank, but to each their own.
no, dude.
Little
Yeah,
little god that it is finances.
I just closed my Citizens Bank account, and it felt
Whoa!
good. It felt
Did you
good to close
really?
that fucking account.
Wow.
They charge you like once a month $3 for a service fee.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Service fee? Like, what are you $3? You're getting $3 from all your people
I
on
used to
top
hate.
of overdraft fees? Like, you're
Oh,
just
the overdraft
robbing us,
fees
man.
were
You're
like
just
that.
fucking.
That's the worst. I set it up in my bank account to like only be like, as soon as it hits at $5 or less, nothing works on my card. Nothing. And I made that sure that like they knew that rule that I put
Dude,
in place for that
I
account.
had it set up like that.
Uh huh.
This was like my Citizens account was just for like small purchases. It was like
Yeah.
20% of my paycheck or whatever got thrown into that account.
Hmm.
It's like a savings account that I could spend. And yeah, it's uh, uh with Citizens and the $3 charges and the overdraft fees. It ended up being more of a hassle than it was a helper. So I went ahead and got rid of it. But banks aside, I think that's why we're here again, to go back to our message and our mission. Our mission here at amongst friends is to allow yourself to be honest, to be vulnerable,
Yep.
and to seek alternate ways, because doing things my way has led down a lonesome highway of angst and anger and frustration and bad financial decisions,
And loneliness,
and
man.
loneliness.
Don't forget about that lonely life.
Well, our first episode that we're gonna jump into after this is gonna
Mm.
be about depression and isolation, brought
Woo.
brought to you by COVID-19.
Oh,
So and you know, uh, here I think this is a great place to let your guard down, and I'm going to open up the email soon for people to submit questions and to start
oh!
contacting us. Yeah.
I didn't know we were gonna have questions.
Well, I figured we should make
No,
this
no, I'm excited
an,
about it.
an
I'm,
interactive experience.
I think that's gonna be great for the amongst friend community. That's
Because
for sure.
like, alone I'm an army of one, together we're an army of two, but
Mhm.
let's start a community. Let's start the connection. Let's start talking. I think we all need to talk a lot more, because our generation, to tie back into a earlier conversation, our generation, we grew up with our feelings, like our parents suppressed all that shit, and their parents suppressed all that shit, and it made sense for its time, but we grew up and now we're able to express ourselves all the time, and we all
Mm.
feel, and it's going kind of off the edge here. So I want to keep that dialogue going, and I want to be able to be okay feeling, and to be okay with ourselves, because I think we're all beating ourselves up a little too much, and we we have to let shit go too. So I think that's going to be our core demographic of listeners, or uh, probably people just like you and me, who don't want to be complainy bitchy anymore, but want to be more
Yeah,
progressive with the actions and choices they make.
and not to say there's anything wrong with like bitching. Like let me
Oh,
just put this
bitch.
in. Like if you gotta like get some shit out there, man, just like let it out. It's better to like let go of some of that simmering than let it just continue to stew. You know what I mean? Let it
Yeah.
boil out a little bit.
Well,
You know, start to feel better.
I also think that ties into like anger. Like I do think
Mm,
you need to get angry first in order to change. And let me explain myself by that.
yeah,
I mean, I'm like, I think you need to see how something doesn't work and get frustrated by it, because that natural reaction of frustration is your mind telling you, "Hey buddy, something's not working. Let's go back and look at the problem so we can get a smile out of you." So anger is I think our brain's shorthand way of saying, like, hey buddy, this is wrong. This is wrong. So, and when I catch myself getting angry over the dumbest fucking shit, it's usually, if I scroll back up the text a little bit, I can see the inputs which are making the anger possible. And the anger festers, and it sits there and it waits. And you could have anger from 12 years ago that you didn't fucking remember. And it's just
yes,
waiting to fucking jump out at you.
yep,
Add a pandemic in there, and you got fucking isolation and depression and fucking anger, and
yep.
you're now part of the problem. You're not part of the solution for yourself or for the world. But I do think the first step of bettering yourself is anger, because you need to feel. You need to feel. And I don't think there's one person on this planet that like had woke up or came out of the womb, or out of their mother, and was like happy from then till death. If that person does exist, please contact me at shaclag@icloud.com.
Yeah, please send that out right away. But I'd like to know some of those
Yeah,
things.
I want to interview. I want questions, and I want
Yeah.
advice.
Can you make a business plan for me? Seriously.
So, John, I'm not a doctor. I don't think you're a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
So we don't
That's
have
not.
any. I don't have any medical advice to give, but I do have experience with
Yep.
what I have been through.
And experiences, believe it or not,
Mhm.
are free.
Yeah, and
You know.
trauma is trauma.
Oh man,
Pain is
trauma.
pain. Depression
Yep.
is depression. Like, although my cause isn't the same as your cause, we have the same effect. And the goal of me doing this is I'm affecting the people I love very dearly with my anger and my depression. I'm causing them to worry. I'm getting into fights. I'm more or less isolating myself more, which we're going to get into a little later. And I'm here to talk about these so I can process them and hopefully better myself. And I want the other person just like me going through this to hear this. Not if they need to, or if they do need to, or if they have a critique or something they want to add. That's why we have this. That's why I wanted to set up amongst friends. And I think that's a great place to start. And we'll get into stories. We'll get into our pasts,
and
we'll
questions
get into,
and topics. We'll do all sorts of crazy stuff.
And we're also
guys.
gonna do a couple. We're gonna do some storytelling, like some like imaginative storytelling.
Oh, really?
And how we
Are we gonna throw some lizard men into the picture and just see what happens?
Whatever helps us process.
Hell yeah.
Easier. And if you need to write out your actions in a fantasy story and see it in writing before you do it in your own life, if it makes it that much easier, that is nirvana. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to make
a community, guys. Community.
We're looking to make 2020 have a great end, because it's been a. I mean, and I talked to a friend a week ago, and he said 2020 it's not just the year. This has been building up for generations, and this is like almost the crescendo of all of that society hasn't worked on. And we're seeing that with the Black Lives Matter movement and the systemic issues in our government. And we're seeing the generational repercussions of trying to control people and control feelings and control things that you can't control. And as any addict knows, you try and control these things, and it just eats away at you and destroys you to where you want to self-medicate. And just to be clear, I'm not in recovery.
Also not in recovery. No.
But I do definitely think of myself on the same level as people. I'm going to get some backlash for that, but I think self-help is extremely important, and I think mental health is extremely important right now.
Yep. And, I also want to say, like, even though like we're not like, supporting any kind of like recovery based thing, we're, we've been there, we have backgrounds in recovery.
Yes.
Wherever you get your hope, wherever you get your message, wherever you get your personal freedom, and I want to express, to really make that understood, is personal freedom. Go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of that change.
No.
Embrace that creativity, and that's where we kind of got amongst friends from.
Yeah. And don't be afraid of it. That's key. Like this morning with the job interview back again, I was psyching myself out, and I was in my comfort zone, which isn't very comfy. It's kind of depressing and lonely, but I went out of that comfort zone, and I felt so much better after. I walked out of that interview like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna walk home now, and
I don't even care if it's snowing now.
Dude, I put my headphones in, and I got the right music going, and I wasn't cold or anything. Like, the confidence came right back, and it was great. It was like
powerful, right?
It was powerful. All of that for just a 15-minute conversation with a stranger.
And what's amazing is how much you probably, like, for me personally, I would get into my head about it all the way through until the interview started to happen.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like I had to mentally just try and like meditate, like as I'm walking through the store to get to the back office. I'm like meditating myself breathe and out, as
Yeah.
so I could seem calm, cool, and collected, because on the Uber ride there, I was like, what am I gonna
Hmm.
say? Am I gonna lie? What am I gonna do?
What if I
All
don't laugh at his joke?
wait, it's not funny,
What? I think I'm funny. Is he not? Now you start getting angry at him for you
Yeah.
don't even know who he
I
looks
don't
like.
even know who he is. I'm angry at him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
Christ.
exactly where I go.
That's
Walking in there, an
exactly.
attitude starts like grossing him out.
Yeah,
He
dude.
doesn't even
Dude,
understand.
yesterday I was already in like a preconceived attitude,
Oh,
like
yes, the justified anger. Please,
yeah,
please
dude, like
experience.
I I
Please
was
explain the
I was
justified anger.
already going through the conversation of the interview in my head, and
Yeah.
if he asked some kind of smart question like, well, here, give me an example of a time when you went through great a struggle at work, all those bullshit questions that they make you ask.
Mm.
And I was thinking yesterday of my smart ass, comebacks, like something simple like, hey, like if I get my job done for the day, can I go, or do you want me to stay here on the clock and pretend to be busy, because that's a not honest employee? And or can I work on my time, or is it your time? Crazy thoughts that I would never actually say, but I was like psyching myself up to say and getting
Mm.
angry about it. And I'm really happy I didn't do any of that, because it's nuts. Like I was gonna say to the guy today, like it's 2020. Let me smoke weed. Fuck your drug test.
Right. Exactly.
Like
That. I mean, that sounds great when you say it to yourself.
yeah, but then I'm like, oh wait, this is Home Depot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of machinery around. There's a lot of
Yeah.
heavy things. Yeah, I'm like, all
Like
right.
you're when you ride around in those things, like you're
Hmm.
responsible for like not only yourself but the customers and then your employees. Like
Exactly. And that's
there's a lot of things where that could go wrong.
yeah, and that's
You know?
the job I got. I got the lumber department, which is going to be driving the forklifts and lifting
Hell
shit
yeah,
up.
dude.
Yeah. So I get it. I understand it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to do what I can. The second thing I was going to try and do with the drug test was get fake pee. And
Oh,
yeah,
have you ever done
just
that before?
no, but
I haven't either.
my partner has.
Oh,
And, and she's done it multiple times, and so I might look into it, or be honest. And with
hmm,
the honesty, what's the worst that can happen? They take the job away. Well, I haven't made any money from it, so I don't have anything invested into it. So the worst thing is where I'm already at. And that's the reality of the situation. When you realize that the worst that can happen is nothing, it just leaves you in the same place you're already at,
hmm.
then you can take more risks. You can take more challenges and options. And uh,
So can I let me ask you this, and just to think about and maybe throw out to anybody that else is having trouble with this is why is it hard to be honest?
uh, you want me to be honest?
Yeah, no, I seriously want you to be honest with me
uh,
right now about honesty.
well, I honestly think
Yeah, okay.
that it's built into our language, and it's built into our society. To full openness leaves
Hmm.
people uncomfortable. Um,
Yeah.
and that goes into like day-to-day conversations with people or strangers. You don't walk down the street just blurting everything out. You keep quiet. If someone asks you a question, you answer it. um uh where I was gonna go with this is
I didn't mean to just throw you on the spot because, like, it
no.
was just like I was thinking about it. Like, it's hard. Like, it requires me to be vulnerable, and that's really fucking hard for me, especially because, like, I'm just a force wall. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I am in terms of like my emotions. A lot of times, it's hard for me to let people into that inner castle that is my emotions. And that
Yeah.
sounds kind of corny, but it's really true. Like, everybody's a stranger.
No,
You know?
and that's right. Like especially like in a new job, or
Hmm.
at the store or anything, I have my persona that is
Yeah.
Shawn. Not you don't see Shawn,
No, you don't
you don't
see
see the actual
that.
me. You see
Yes.
the persona that I have invented for societal reasons,
Yep.
and that's if you think about it, completely fucking crazy. But it's how our society works. It's seriously built into how we think, how we talk. Um, we I sometimes wish that we could talk in just sign language and see, because like they say even your language changes the way you perceive the world. I forget where they are, but there's a culture, I believe, uh, in Malaysia somewhere, where they don't have a word for time.
Really?
Yeah, so they don't they don't they can't they don't. So when someone explains to
Mhm.
them what time is, or like what 5 minutes is, they don't know what you're saying, because they perceive reality as constantly moving, but they don't tell time, and they don't. I
That's interesting.
I should look it up so we can future videos. I will have my
Yeah, you know what? I
I
have
will,
Google right
yeah.
here. Like, if we're like we're gonna use Google as
You
like our next
have,
method.
yeah. So no.
It's gonna be me, Shawn, and then Google as part of our co-host tonight.
Yeah. I'm afraid to pull up any other windows right now.
No, I got this. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But but yeah, and I do apologize for my trailing off sentences and
Yeah, no,
my lack of continual thoughts.
I was just again, like, what I like to do in terms of these things is dissect the stories that I'm hearing and then say, like, oh, like, honesty. Nobody likes the word dissect. I
Mhm.
want to emphasize with the story more. That's what I really want.
Yeah.
You know. So I didn't mean to throw you off there, pal. But
No, you didn't. It's a question that I don't think anyone can answer on the spot.
right, it's
Like,
an open discussion question. Like, I
mhm.
think, and like another thing that I'm trying to think about is, like, you have goals that it seems like you're starting for 2020. Like, did you have like goals in mind going into this conversation?
Oh no,
No.
I didn't. I mean, I have goals for what I want to do in my
Yeah.
life, but not for this conversation. Other than soft introductions, in which we already did.
Oh, yeah. No.
So,
Yeah.
but this is the beauty of it. I think natural dialogue and natural conversation is that vulnerability that we're both
Hmm.
looking for, and I think that's where real growth does happen. Uh,
Yes, I agree. And
anybody can write a script down, and we can memorize facts off the internet. There's a million. I can show you a million YouTube videos of facts.
I could sing. I
Uh,
could show you the world, but I'm not going to.
yeah, right.
Well, it's not necessary.
No. Plus, we also get a copyright
Oh,
infringement.
I
Yeah,
didn't even think about
yeah.
that. Good,
Don't
good,
don't
good
don't
thinking there.
sing. No
I'm
singing
not gonna
here.
no singing here, guys. I'm sorry for the singers out there. This one
uh,
goes out for you.
I think we can quote, but
We can't.
um,
We can't have singing.
uh,
What?
no,
This is 2020. We can do what we want.
no, I mean, right now, technically, this isn't live, so we can do whatever the hell we want. But
Oh, that's true.
I do think, I mean, we can quote. I'm pretty sure we can quote anything we want. I just can't play it for you.
That's
But
interesting.
we'll get, yeah,
We'll figure that out.
copyright infringement. We're gonna look into
Yeah,
this. We're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna get
yeah.
you some music because
And if it
you
happens, guys, we're
deserve
sorry.
it.
Two different thinkings on that one, but that's okay.
But yeah, I I'm excited. I've been looking to do something like this for a while now. I've bounced around ideas with other people about.
Have in terms of like our friend group, like anybody that I know and
Oh no, this is Floridians.
Floridians.
Just to
Okay.
catch everyone up,
Hmm.
me and John are originally from New Jersey,
Yeah,
South
we grew
Jersey.
up in New Jersey, South Jersey. The beautiful Burlington area
Yep.
is where we hail from.
Hmm. Uh,
That's our
s-
that's our
since
fiefdom.
since then, John has moved around South Jersey, and he's now residing in Philadelphia, uh,
Beautiful
South Philadelphia.
Commonwealth state.
Mhm.
Is it Commonwealth here? I don't know.
Oh, you are the Commonwealth here.
We are the
I think you're
Commonwealth.
the only Commonwealth, actually.
I did PA Proud today. I remember that off the top of my head.
I'll fact check that later.
Yeah, please do.
But I have moved around South Jersey a couple times, and then in 2015, I moved to the Sunshine State to get my head out of the fog and the shit I was doing, to better myself, honestly, to get clean. And
yeah, that's okay. We could call a spade here.
And it worked. I went down there. I got clean. I rebuilt a life that I didn't have in New Jersey from scratch down there. I found a support network and a friends group. I stopped going to the rooms ritualistically because down there, at least the areas where I was living, it was a really hypocritical scene. It was really more about the industry of recovery, not the actual journey of recovery. So I got disillusioned real quickly and kind of pulled myself out. But from there, I found a new support a group of people, coworkers and the other places I was hanging out. And 2020 happened. My restaurant career is on hiatus right now. And me and my partner decided to come back up to New York, where she hails from.
Yeah.
And I'm closer to John now. I'm closer to other friends. I'm closer to other family.
Yeah, man, it was so good to see you that one weekend that we came up, man. I really enjoyed that.
Dude, it was like at a time where I needed it too, because I mean, how much time you got?
I got plenty of time, dude. Like if we're just talking and hanging out right now, like I got plenty of time.
Yeah, so let's just jump into it. Let's just go into what I wanted the first episode to be. I wanted to talk about depression, and I wanted to talk about isolation, or as I call it, self-isolation.
Self-isolation.
So we all know COVID happened this year, and my life up until that point was going to work. It was going to work and hanging out once in a while with
can I ask?
I work with.
In turn, was this in Florida during this time?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just moved. I just moved up here in July, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so, and it's November now.
Right.
But 2020 happened, and I was furloughed from my full-time employer, Hilton, and I was sent into the mandatory lockdown right away. I mean, it looking back on it, it felt right away. I'm sure it happened in like a span a couple of weeks where they just started shutting things down slowly.
No, dude. Like I remember, I was watching, and during this time, let me fill you in terms of what I was doing, working for my family business. What I do, I have an extensive sales background and stuff like that. But I was at a construction site and stuck in Newark, New Jersey. Beautiful city, if you've ever been there.
Miss it.
Do you miss it? I'll tell you what, man.
It has some spots have a nice charm to it. I cannot lie.
I like the Ironworks area. Like that's the only nice area that I can think of off the top of my head. But anyway, I remember watching like Reddit news about the coronavirus like hitting China and then remember when it hit Australia and all like the kids that played like that pandemic game? Remember that pandemic game that came out?
Vaguely.
They were like, yeah, they made a really niche like meme joke about like how once you take over Australia, then everything else can like grow. And that's exactly what happened in coronavirus. I was like, these motherfuckers, like they know what's up.
Yeah.
I was worried about it when I saw it and like heard about it, and then what was weird was like watching people with the toilet paper. Remember the toilet paper?
Yeah, dude. No, it's happening again right now.
Oh my God, I know. I saw it. I go into your Target, toilet paper's gone.
Yep.
They're limiting cleaning supplies, just like
Yeah,
really scary,
chicken.
sad stuff. Yeah, like you can only buy a pound of chicken. Like, are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
but
No.
no. So like to to jump back in, like
Mm-hmm.
in March, I was furloughed, and that's when the panic started happening.
Yeah.
And I was living in Lake Worth at the time, Lake Worth, Florida. And I don't know if you're familiar with Florida, but uh, there is literally like everything you do is with people, or it's out in the state park somewhere. Like there's nothing for anyone to do. So when lockdown happened, it was we were just sitting in our home. We were just sitting
Yeah.
inside. We couldn't go to the beach. They closed the public beaches.
Wow, I
Uh,
can't believe that.
and
That
in,
was like
in
probably like the only reason of
that's
being in
the
Florida.
only thing, like at least for me at that time, it was because it was still summer, or it was just getting out of winter, and it's never cold in Florida.
Right.
We have like we had nice mild winters, and so it's hot, and we're stuck inside. We can't go to the parks. The parks are closed. The beach is closed. All of our hangout and restaurants and spots are closed. So we
That's
basically,
frustrating.
yeah. So we basically just kind of, you know, we like everyone else kind of just set. I mean, all the
Yeah.
good ones. We just,
We just had to sit on our thumbs, dude. Like
yeah.
that's all we could do.
And
And like
it started out strong. I started out in high
uh,
spirits.
I know, me too. Like I could do
And
this for
yeah,
like two
dude,
or 3 weeks. Like I've
dude,
been through worse.
dude. So like, uh,
Yeah. I remember thinking that
I thought
same
it was
exact
gonna be a couple. I thought it was gonna be like a month. I thought we were
a
gonna be
month.
out
Mm-hmm.
for a month. Um.
Nah.
So yeah, after getting my first bill for my health insurance from my employer, uh, I was freaking out because I thought they were gonna like hold all payments, and nobody held any payments. My bills started. They were always on time. They kept coming. My landlord wanted
Mm-hmm.
his money right away, and I even asked my landlord, hey, is it all right if I can, like, wait until the pandemic's over? And it was like out of the question. Like, well, we're all struggling, and we ask that you pay on time, uh, which I get. I'm not gonna, I paid it. I just want to make clear. I paid
Yeah,
all
but you
my.
didn't have to in that sense, did you?
Well, no, I mean, I would have had to eventually, and
Eventually.
knowing myself, I don't save money for
Mm-hmm.
eventuallys. So we just kept paying it. We kept paying our insurance bill, the insurance that I couldn't use because the dentist was closed, and if you're going to the hospital, you best have COVID. So,
Oh sure, yeah.
I'm paying for the maybe inevitability if I do get COVID. I'm paying 150 a month for, if I get that. Um, so, a couple weeks into the pandemic, and we're strong, we're good. A couple months into it, I think we were a month and a half when we realized we need to get unemployment. And this is
Mm-hmm.
when the whole country fiasco with unemployment happened. And for Florida, they're using
What,
a website.
what month was it?
Uh,
Do you remember?
it had to
Was
be
it like
April.
May? Okay.
April.
Yeah.
Um, so we had originally signed on in March, but we couldn't get through. The website was yeah, I'm sure everyone's heard this a million times. The websites kept shutting down. They kept kicking us. We kept getting kicked halfway through the application, which, it's the website was like made in 1992, and they haven't updated it since then. So you're working with an antiquated system that's being overrun with people trying to get assistance, and there was no one to call. There was no one to ask help for, and that's when the first wave of like anxiety came. Was, oh fuck, maybe we should have jumped on this sooner. Eventually, we ended up getting through. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we got through, and we didn't get paid till another month later because they were still sorting out the mess that was Florida unemployment. And so we're like a month and a half in when we get our first check, and Florida unemployment is $275 a week. Uh, for
Only 275.
for anybody living in this country, they know $200 a week, $300 a week isn't enough to sustain yourself, especially in Florida. Rent is so crazy there, and the cost of living is so crazy there. Um, so yeah, 275 is like a minimum wage job. It's not a lot of money. And that's the max benefit you can get. Now, Florida waived the requirements for the maximum benefit, and they gave everyone the maximum benefit, which I do thank them for.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like no questions asked. We got the unemployment. We had to provide our work history and whatever. So like a month and a half in, we got our first check, which it felt good, but it wasn't something that we were proud of or wanted to keep doing. And the original furlough from Hilton was not supposed to last more than 6 months. So fast forward from March or from April through May through June, we're in July, and we get a letter in the mail saying they're going to extend the furlough until November. And we're sitting there going, are we going to sit here and wait for this to happen, or are we going to leave now? Because I don't know if you remember, before the summer started, the curve started to go down. Things were
Yeah, I
looking
do remember
good.
that.
They opened up the beaches again, and we were discussing. Our plan was to leave Florida originally before COVID happened. We were planning to travel and see the country. So this wasn't a new idea. So, but jump into June, or like the end of May into June, and we're starting to think that we're not going to go back to work ever. And we should start looking to move now. And we decided that it would be best to move up to New York, where we're closer to family, our other support system, and we'd be able to rekindle with the family, reconnect. Because we were down there, we've both been down there for a while. And I don't know if you've ever lived 5 states away from your family. It's impossible to keep a healthy relationship. It's just impossible.
My family lives down in like the Cape May area currently, and that's like at the very southern point of South Jersey area, and being in Philadelphia, that's like 90 miles, I think, and that's still difficult.
It's a hike.
That's an hour and a half both ways. You don't think about it, but that's 3 hours of your time out of your day.
Dude, in my head, I was thinking, I'm only like a 4-hour drive from my family. That's great. I could do that in one day.
You could do that in one day. That's true, but you have to do the whole day.
Then I'm thinking like, wait, that's 5 hours there, 5 hours back. That's 10 hours. I'm like, am I awake for 10 hours? Like, what do I do?
Oh, dude, believe me.
But
that's all my job is driving.
But like to jump back into the topic, I started getting like the anxiety and the anger started really rearing its head in late May, like April into May, and I went through this, and I'm still going through the repercussion, like the depression of not the situation, but of everything that the situation kind of made possible. And I mean that by like during lockdown, we had to isolate, and taking us out of our social setting, our social normal routine. In the beginning was easy, but after a while, it starts to wear on you. It starts to I
start to feel the I don't know if like weight would be the best term, but
you start to feel like
it just starts to wear you down, man.
We're social creatures. We're humans are social creatures, and we're meant to be with each other all the time. So that's why viruses are like the worst thing to happen, because it pushes you further away from people. And I was already off of social media and everything. I was doing like my social media cleanse.
Oh yeah.
So it was just me and my partner, and that was it, And the anger started coming in. I was getting angry at everything, little things. I was getting angry at the government. I was so angry at the government,
So
and
angry.
I
Yeah,
was so
I feel
angry
that too.
with how people were treating the virus, like not wearing masks or not socially distancing, bringing politics into it. I
Hmm.
was so frustrated that this had to become a political issue, and with the anger and the anxiety building up, it keeps that pushes you more into the depression. And then there's a kind of denial there, the denial that you're even in it. And I'm sitting there, looking out the window. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to read books. I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, I'm so apathetic.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like in Florida, like we were able to snap out of it. And or like I think of it as like tuck it away and not worry about it, because I never worked on anything. I just kind of like tucked away my anger and depression and anxiety. I would hide it in different corners. I would smoke weed and drink. I think the alcohol was definitely excessive then, and that's self-medication. That's
Yep.
numbing. These are things that you don't get better with. You just get worse with.
You just survive.
Yes, you're just getting by.
Hmm.
And we would go on bike rides after the lockdown lessened, and we bought a new bike so we could both go out and have fun, and that became like our thing, going on like nighttime bike rides and walks. We went on walks every day.
That's really
Uh,
cool.
I mean, it was just to get out of the house, just to go out and do it. And we saw so many people out there. Uh, it 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 there were a couple of days of the week. It looked like there was like a block party going on, or
Yeah.
like a festival somewhere. There were so many people bike riding, so many people walking around with their families. It was great. It was great to see people back with their families. It was so great. It made us miss our families.
Hmm.
So so you know, we kept numbing ourselves, and eventually enough was enough, and we decided to take that move. And we moved to upstate New York. And for all of our listeners who are not who do not know upstate New York, I'm in the Finger Lakes region, central New York,
Beautiful up there,
and
by the way. It's really nice.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful.
It's a
But
really nice area.
it's all small towns. The biggest city is Syracuse. I'm a little bit west of Syracuse, and it's all small towns. So going from Florida to New York, uh, again, I don't know anybody up here. I don't have a job up here. It was a big leap, but I had some money tucked away, and we both had our monies saved up for this, and we took the jump, got a place. We moved into her sister's house actually for a little bit, and a little friction started happening with like
Mm,
tiptoeing around. I mean,
yeah.
just
It's
I
tough
wanted
when
to,
you have to
yeah,
share an area like that.
yeah, I wanted to have my own place, and
Hmm.
so we got a place, and this is when the self isolation and depression boomed at like it was all building up to this, because I never worked on anything in Florida. I had the ideas of working on things and bettering myself, but I never put anything into play.
Hmm.
So I had like the blueprints, I had like the bullet points of the stuff I wanted to do, but it was all talk. And then we got up here and looking for jobs, looking for stuff to do. It turned into more and more apathy, or I want to say uh, like it just we both kind of flatlined. Um, we both lost the will to, like, when we first got here. We were so happy and excited. We climbed a fucking mountain. We went out to the Adirondacks.
What
We camped for a
in,
week.
in New York?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
mountain was it?
Mount Joe.
Mount Joe.
It's the smallest of the Adirondack peaks.
Let's look up
Um,
Mount. I want to find some
I think it's like
average
2000.
facts about. Hang on. It
It's
was
like
called Mount Joe.
Mount Joe, J-O.
Oh, here we go. In New York. Here we
Yep.
go. Right by. Oh, yeah, in the
It's about
How do you pronounce this? The Adrenox?
oh, the Adirondacks.
Adirondacks. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Wow, butchered that. That was really bad. Say it again though. Adirondacks. There you
Adirondacks. Yep.
go. I think this is where my girlfriend was like from originally.
Yeah, yeah, I remember you saying something about that, and I know me and her talked briefly
Yeah,
about it.
Lake Placid. Lake Placid's her hometown.
Yeah, yeah, it's right up there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we when we moved up here, we were still in like in the high of moving
Mm-hmm.
and in the numbness of what we've been doing.
Yeah. Would you
So
consider that like a honeymoon phase for you?
the moving, yes.
Yeah, the moving
The
part.
relationship, no. I think
Yeah.
we were already out of the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
But yeah, the moving, that was definitely the honeymoon phase. We were kind of still high on the idea of that we did it by ourselves, and with no assistance, and we were so fucking proud of that.
Mhm.
And we we got we got after the camping trip, we came back and we got kind of complacent with uh, our jobless kind of lives, and we had no routine, we had no regular routine,
Mhm.
and it was a lot of sitting around, a lot of movie watching, and a lot of video game playing, and I am amazed by how quickly our mental health deteriorated from our routines in Florida to not having any routine up here, and still numbing with alcohol, and uh, you know, I it's hard for me to smoke weed now because
Mhm.
I get into like weird panicky weird places that are sometimes when I'm laying in bed are hard to bring myself out of.
Yeah.
Uh, so
I,
like,
I personally like I turn like off in terms of like communication. It's hard for me to like express myself. I get all like
have you
in
been
my
through
head.
a phase of depression?
Yeah, a couple of times. Are we talking like in terms of COVID or throughout life?
Well, no, throughout life. What's give
Yeah,
me
definitely. I like,
give
it's
give me a story. Give me like what have you been through? I mean, not everything. Just give me a depression
let,
story.
let's go through like the generic of like the COVID. Getting a better understanding of where you came from through your COVID experience, like helps me kind of like say to myself, like, um, getting my thoughts together about it. And I remember, like I said before, I remember looking at my phone through the Reddit feeds and seeing this thing comment, and I'm like, this doesn't look very good.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought it was weird because everybody like was like joking about it and
Oh
having a
yeah.
good time. Like everybody thought it was like not a big deal. Like
Hmm.
it would be like the next bird flu or swine flu. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We
Yeah.
didn't know. We didn't know like it was like tearing
We
people
didn't
up. Like
know.
we didn't know. Like I feel like it's something out of like 12 Monkeys or some
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
You know? So we start going into work, and New York at the time is a hot zone
Yeah.
for COVID-19.
Hmm.
And I'm starting to get worried. People are like wearing masks, and I'm starting to wear masks, and I'm like, I don't have any masks. And I go to the Home Depot up in Newark, and I'm like, hey man, like, where's the mask? They're like, man, we don't got none of those left.
Yeah. Right. Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm going and scrambling around all of New Jersey, and I finally find some shitty like just like mask coverings just to bring home. And I think that was like very beginning of March, like maybe like
Yeah.
around like
Hmm.
the first or second week of March, and then we went into lockdowns like right around the 20th, I think,
Yep.
here in Pennsylvania. And like, you know what, dude? Just like you said, we didn't think it was going to turn out to be something that was going to be more than a couple of weeks, a month at the most. Like it was like a month holiday is what we thought about it.
That's dude. A
Yeah,
month holiday.
like I can do a month in solitary, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Fuck that. Easy.
Yeah, like whatever, dude. And before that, me and my partner, we recently moved in together as well in Philadelphia, and uh, we didn't expect, like I'm sure a lot of people just can say this, but we didn't expect that we would get to learn about each other in such a personal way.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? And for good or for bad, like that's what happened.
Yep.
You know, we learned about our ticks and our cues in terms of like what makes us kind of go crazy, or like, you know, how we can heal each other. That was a really big thing that we learned, you know. Let's see here, what else? And this is like in like the first couple of months through it. You know, it was a big help, and I hate saying it, you know, Animal Crossing. That was a
dude,
big help.
dude,
It was I couldn't believe having something as normal as like
dude,
picking up apples and then selling them to the raccoons. It would be so satisfying for me by 2020, but it
it
was.
started with Final Fantasy 12 with me. My first
Oh,
time
Final
playing it
Fantasy
all the
12.
way through.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, and I
Good
just
story, by the way.
it
I
was
love that.
yeah,
I
it was
love
the
that.
first
Yeah.
time I actually learned the story because
It reminded me a lot about like Final Fantasy Tactics. Remember that on the GBA?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, same
I
kind
still
of like
have it. I still have
world.
it.
And
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, started that we got big into Animal Crossing, but we were going outside. Like this was like we were walking around in the city,
But Philly's yeah,
and
Philly's a big city though. Yeah.
Philly's a big city. Like I live in like where the universities are, like where Drexel is and all that stuff. So there's a lot of cool like little like West Philly areas that we like to go and hang out. And one of the areas is called Clark Park, and we would just go there. We would walk around, hang out, get some iced coffee, see like the people, and everybody thought it was the same, you know, holiday,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And as we
Yeah.
got closer into like the May and June, July, you know, we saw the same thing. You know, lockdowns are great. You know, we're done with it. We don't have to go back to it. We're fine now. You know, and even while like we didn't know um, how things were going to play out with the politics, but the the presidential debate and like the presidential election was a big deal to me through this 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was one of the things that I started to like pick up on as like an isolation tool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The more I like dove deeper into like the rabbit hole of like Fox News or like, you know, CNN, it didn't matter. Like I was just like so caught up in like this like political drama that is the news. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. Like I
The
like,
media won, dude. They pulled you in and they won.
oh my God, did they ever win? You know?
Oh man.
I remember distinctly having a nightmare of where um, uh, President Trump stole my Switch, and I could not get it back from him. And
No.
I know that sounds dumb, and it is dumb, but that was a real dream that I had.
And you woke up with
And
the
I was like,
feelings. The
what? I was
feelings.
like, I'm so mad at America, and I don't know why.
Nah, dude. Um, and like I back to finish this up almost. The isolation that we were all put into
Mm,
is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you are taken out of your social settings and you start to isolate,
yep.
uh, you get a new normal. Your body's always looking for a normal. Homeostasis, I believe, or correct me if I'm wrong. Your body's looking to be on an even playing field. So when that normal becomes by yourself or with your significant other, you start to, not only get on each other's nerves,
Mm,
but when the option opens up to go out and meet people or do things when lockdowns do lessen, it's no longer like a instinctual, yeah, I'm gonna go. It becomes like, well, I'm kind of comfy here, or I don't want to see that person.
oh,
I start doing those talking to myself
yes.
things where I'm convincing myself that, I'm kind of justify not doing it.
You're so
And
scientific with your terms, by the way.
dude,
Homeostasis. You're right, by the way. It is
oh,
homeostasis. I looked it up.
hey, thank
But
you.
I always called it like the niche or like it turns into my niche or my ditch. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
And I know
that's good.
niche
I
is
like
pronounced
that.
niche, but like it doesn't work.
Hey,
Yeah,
tomatoes.
tomatoes. I'm gonna make it work however I can. But like I find that like the best qualities where I turn into something that's comfortable
Mm-hmm.
often turns into like where my downfall really falls. It's like
Yeah,
falling into a
dude,
pitfall, really.
dude.
You know, and I can give you a great example in terms of this.
Yep.
Like when I started to like go through my recovery process and I did some really big work on myself, and like I'm not saying that those things aren't not beneficial. They are, and they're amazing tools to use um in this thing, but like you got your chance to get a life back. And that's what happened. I got my life back, Shawn,
Mm-hmm.
through that process. And I just, once I started to realize like those weren't the guidelines that I wanted to follow any in my life, I started to like, it was like having the training wheels off of a bike for the first time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
A
mean?
little wobbly
Like
at
now,
first.
yeah, not wobbly at first, but now like now I have a good, you know, speed going, or like, my balance is right. I feel like I can handle life
You
a
you
little
give
bit better in
yourself
this.
little allowances. That's what I do. Once I
Allowances.
yeah, once I thought once I took myself out of recovery, I'm like, oh, I can handle a drink. Oh,
Mm,
I can smoke that joint.
hmm.
And let me tell you, drinking does not work for me
I'm
at
not a big
all.
drinker. I've never
Nope,
been a big drinker in that
nope.
sense.
Because it turns into a daily routine, and we're always
Uh,
looking for a daily routine.
Daily
And
routine.
back to like the isolation, dude. I remember when it started with me. A coworker of ours, a friend that we've worked in multiple locations with. You'd love the guy actually. He's from New York originally.
Is this the same guy that was like you were telling me about before?
I don't think I ever talked about him. He's an older guy,
Mm.
bartender. He's amazing. And he started inviting us to go hang out in his garage and just like smoke a joint and chill.
In his garage?
Yeah, and
Where, in Florida? This
yeah,
sounds like a Florida man.
yeah. Well,
Word up.
yeah. We were still in lockdown. We weren't supposed to go in, 6 feet apart. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, right.
But
Of course.
but every time he asked, I didn't want to go. I found some excuse in my head, and I convinced my partner that this is what we're doing. This is what we're like no, like I started thinking like, what am I going to talk about? Like crazy thoughts that I've never had my entire
Hmm.
life that I now overly obsess over.
I think it's funny that your brain just tries to like trick you into saying like you should totally be by yourself at this time.
Yeah, right. Like this is what you want. When
Yeah.
it's like, no, this isn't what I want. And I got comfortable in that loneliness, uh,
Hmm.
and that became my normal. And trying to get out of that was it's fucking hard. And then you move states and you don't have any friends, and that normal becomes a codependency with your partner, and
Yep.
we're heavily codependent now on each other. And
That's a hard place to be in sometimes.
for me as a codependent partner, I've learned a lot of things, which we're going to get into on the next episode. But just to yeah, I know we've been talking forever. To finish this up real quick, um, like I learned a lot about myself, and the isolation, it needs to end. I need to get out of my comfort zone,
Hmm.
and I need to start taking chances again, like going to Home Depot this morning.
Yeah.
I had a quick job for Instacart, which I'll get into in a future episode,
Yeah, you were
and
mad about that one.
and and rightfully so.
Yeah,
And
you were mad, and I got mad. I got mad work stories too.
yeah,
I can't wait to share some of those with you. They're gonna be great. You're gonna be upset with me on a couple of them, but it's okay.
I will be open minded.
Yeah, open minded.
That's
Yeah,
what I will be.
keep that beginner's mind frame. Okay, guys, that's the trick to life.
Yes. Always be a student.
Always be the
And
student.
that's where I'm gonna get. That's where we're gonna finish off with today.
Namaste, bitches.
Um, uh, uh being honest and not in denial of your current situation. I am still an addict, um, and I need to get out of my comfort zone to be the best person I could be for myself, and to be the best person I can for my partner and my family. I've been in the deep isolation in New York. I've been distant from my family, even though I'm much closer. I'm still not there. And I knew there were going to be challenges moving up here. I knew it was going to be challenging. I just never thought it would be this challenging. So why we're here, what we're here for, is to talk about these and to go over them. And so when 2021 hits, you and me and anyone else who wants to can be a lot stronger and better for everyone around them.
Totally agree with that.
So for today's recap, be honest.
Be honest, guys. Hey, you know what?
Start being
we know
honest.
it's uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate telling you guys the truth.
But honestly, you will feel better in the end. And I'm not saying don't lie to your mom and tell her that lie to your mom when she's cooking her steak well done. You just tell her whatever, it's good.
Yeah.
But
thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. It's delicious. but be honest with yourselves, and be honest with your significant other and your close group of friends, because these people are the ones that know you and will listen to you, and they can help you.
I also want to think that it's important to remember that you don't have this big target on your back either.
No.
Nobody's trying to single you out. Nobody's trying to make you,
But I think they are.
But my brain tells me the same. My brain says the same thing. Constantly tells me that everybody's out to get me, and I should totally be by myself. Distrust of others. Dude. Yeah.
That was what that's the self-fulfilling prophecy of isolation.
Isolation.
Everyone else sucks.
Yeah.
I'm better. Fuck them.
What a paradox.
The anger explodes. Great. Thank you for saying that. I needed to hear that today too.
Yeah. I totally agree. And we're all in this together in terms of this. We all want to change.
We're
the whole point of
friends.
Growth is to change, to be a better person. And there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with being honest. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know how this is going for myself. And those things are valid, guys. What's not valid? Being paralyzed by fear.
Exactly. Staying in your comfort zone,
right?
And not taking those risks,
right?
And not doing what you need to do.
Don't be afraid to live a little bit. Life is full with failures and success.
Dude, yeah. And when looking back,
just like how you did with your Home Depot experience today, man. Like that could have went a million ways. Yeah. But you know what? In this instance, Shawn, you kept it honest, you kept it real, and it seems like
I had fun. I had fun doing it.
Experience and fun. Like you gotta get your kicks somewhere. You might as well get them all clean. Bravo on that, man.
Thank you. Be honest and get out of your comfort zone and take chances.
Stay on that homeostasis.
Our 3 things today.
Yeah.
But John, thank you for talking with me today.
Dude, thank you for talking with me. Like I'm excited to be here and working with you. All jokes aside, and if this is just for you and me, Shawn, just hanging out with you.
Dude, really I know. If no one ever hears this,
I don't really care. Like,
I feel better.
I'm talking to the boys
now.
like they're relevant boys, but you're the only homie that I got sometimes. And I just want you to know, like you're right there for me, and I appreciate you.
Yes, and that's what I wanted this to be. I wanted this to be support.
Yep.
And we'll get into entitlement and ego and all of that next episode.
I can't wait.
Baby, I am fucking entitled, and I have white privilege, and I am the bane of my own existence.
So I'm my own worst enemy. What is that, a Blink 182 song?
No, a Trapped?
Who was it? No, it's not Trapped.
Whatever.
No,
stop.
No.
You have Google. You look at it.
Wait.
Lit?
Yeah, no. Sometimes it's an almost enemy.
Oh, what is
every
that?
day. It's okay.
Dude, it's like
Please tell me. Please tell me why. Yeah.
cars in the
Who
front
sings?
yard.
Who sings that
Stop.
song? Who is that?
Eve six. Eve six.
No, it's not Eve Six.
Eve
That's
six.
Dev.
Is that Eve six?
No, own worst enemy. Hang on.
Yeah, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
It's Lit or Eve six.
You were right. It was lit, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Good job.
2001. You're welcome.
Was it 2001? No,
I don't know.
it wasn't.
What's it say? I don't know.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up. You gotta work with me, not against me, computer.
Pretty sure it's like 2002, 2001. That's. I mean, I remember 7th or 8th grade that was a song. I remember watching the video on MTV2 when it used to play music videos.
Oh, was that like the same time around like Sum 41? Was that the same time frame?
Yeah. Sum 41, Blink-182.
Yeah.
Like pop punk was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when punk went out of the clubs and into the mainstream.
If you remember All American Rejects,
All American Rejects, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is great. We can talk.
I actually like them too,
dude. I was just listening to Linkin Park the other day, getting into my new metal phase.
Yes, I love Linkin Park,
dude. And this goes in with, we'll talk about nostalgia in later episodes and how we look at the past and perceive the past and perceive the future. But it's okay to go back and listen to these old songs and bands and relive those moments, because it can help you in the present to bring back the positivity that you experienced in the past.
I've been going through oldies, honestly. Like, I've been going through like the Pink Floyds and Led Zeppelins again.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta tell you, dude, it's been really nice.
Dude,
it's been really nice to appreciate that.
This whole pandemic, I've been microdosing too. I'm sure this is all
going
to come.
Acid.
Acid.
Oh, you've done, okay.
And I'm sure this is all going to crescendo into me just being a drug addict, which is why I'm miserable. But
we'll get there.
But we'll get there. But microdosing, I found the Grateful Dead for the first time. My partner introduced me.
Do you like them?
Love them, dude.
Do you really?
Yeah, the Allman Brothers. I'm into that. I love the original jam bands, if you will. The newer ones haven't really hit home with me yet, like Disco Biscuits and that kind of stuff. But definitely the Dead, and definitely Allman Brothers and Santana, like all those Woodstock era bands. Dude, I growing in high school, I was too cool to like them. Pink Floyd.
I know, me too, dude.
Too cool to like.
I was too cool to. I was all about the System of the Downs.
Dude, Tool, Nine Inch Nails,
Nine Inch Nails, Tool. Yeah, we were Perfect angry. Circle. I was so angry.
Fake angry youth. That's what we were called.
Oh, is that what that's called?
No.
Are you putting terms to it?
No. The term is white kid from suburbia. That's what it's called.
No way.
Yeah, dude, look it up. It's fucked up. But I'm gonna end it on that note, John. We talked about what I'm gonna talk about. I feel better. I feel good. I feel better too, dude. I feel so much better about today. It was a productive day, and being productive is what we're gonna start doing.
Sounds good, dude.
So I'm
gonna have a good night.
Well, here I'm gonna plug the email real quick.
Plug it in.
I'm gonna have in the future little cards I'm gonna have made for this, so I can have it on the screen. No, I mean, for YouTube, I can do that. But for the viewers, the listeners on the podcast, it's shaclack@icloud.com. That's SHACK.
Ooh.
At iCloud.com. No, sorry. Take that all back. It's going to be SHACKCLAK, shaclack, at iCloud.com. I want to hear questions, comments, concerns. Chew me out, roast me for being dumb and retarded.
Yeah. Please don't hurt our feelings.
Hey, dude, we're all snowflakes here at the end of the day. Be honest, talk to me, reach out to me. That's shaclack@icloud.com. You can find me at Mr. Shaclack on YouTube. John, do you have any
I don't have any plugs yet. I'm gonna put some plugs together.
Yeah. I'm gonna get an Instagram going. I'm gonna get a
we'll get some fun things going for you guys.
Maybe a YouTube. Sorry, a Facebook. and we're gonna have a different. We're using SoundCloud now, but we're gonna have different platforms, and we're gonna make
Yeah.
this. We're gonna make this fine
We're gonna try
tuned.
to make this. Yeah, we're gonna turn this into a working
I'm
machine,
gonna have
gentlemen.
music for
Yeah.
us. I'm gonna have like my music on the
Don't
computer.
worry, we're getting the new metal back.
Yes,
The new metal's coming.
we're bringing back Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Oh man.
Where's my hat?
Where's the nookie? Please tell me where the nookie is.
Oh God. Oh, we'll get into Fred Durst too. Guy's a fucking genius.
Yeah. Fun stuff ahead.
But John, thanks for coming out tonight.
Shawn, thanks for being here.
I hope
This has been an excitable time, and I'm excited to do this with you in the future with amongst friends.
Yep.
And it certainly feels like we are.
Yep. I feel like I'm amongst friends now.
I feel like I'm with amongst friends too.
All right, John.
All right, dude.
Hail Satan. You have a great night.
Whoa. Okay. Have a good night.
Yeah. Yep. Bye, bud.
Peace out, brother.